Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 8. Every set got brighter when Kelly walked on. She had that rare spark, one that made everyone better just by being there. Those were the words of a fellow actor who worked closely with Kelly Mack, and they echo the sentiments of so many. Kelly passed away at the age of 33 after a brave and private battle with cancer. She passed peacefully, surrounded by her mother Kristen and Auntie Karen, who were her constant support. Best known for her powerful portrayal of Addie in Season 9 of The Walking Dead, Kelly left a lasting impression with audiences around the world. But her journey started much earlier. As a child in Cincinnati, she picked up a mini video camera one birthday, and her love for storytelling took off. From indie hits like The Elephant Garden, which won her acting honors at Tisch and the Tribeca Film Festival, to suspense thrillers like Broadcast Signal Intrusion, she brought honesty and depth to every role. Her range shined just as brightly on television with appearances in Chicago Med and other notable projects. Kelly didn't just perform, she created. Behind the camera, she was a skilled producer and cinematographer. Her most recent horror short won the Jury Choice Award at the Atlanta Horror Film Festival and was picked up by AMC's Shudder platform. She was passionate, driven, and incredibly kind. On every set, she mentored younger artists, leading with patience and purpose. Friends remember her laughter, her endless curiosity, and the way she made people feel seen and celebrated. Tributes have poured in from across the entertainment world, with fans and colleagues calling her a bright light and a force of creativity. Among those mourning her are her mother Kristen, Aunt Karen, and her two younger siblings, including her brother, actor Parker Mack. Kelly Mack's influence will live on through the characters she brought to life, the films she helped shape, and the hearts she's touched. Tributes to Kelly Mack. Number 7. It didn't matter if it was a big scene or a small one. Alfie always brought the most heart and the biggest laughs. Those words from a longtime crew member capture the light Alfie Wise brought to every set and to every person he met. At 82, Alfie passed peacefully after a brief illness. Though he's gone, his joy, humor, and classic charm live on through a career that made generations smile. Born in Altoona, Pennsylvania, Alfie Wise, originally Ralph Lewis Wise Jr., led with warmth, talent, and a deep sense of connection. From his early days as class president all the way through his time in the Navy, Alfie had a natural gift for leadership and showmanship. Many remember him from films like The Cannonball Run and Smokey and the Bandit, where his quick wit and perfect timing made him unforgettable. A frequent collaborator and friend of Burt Reynolds, Alfie became a favorite in Reynolds' films, mastering both comedy and drama. On television, he appeared in fan favorites like Mary Hartman, The Jeffersons, and B.L. Stryker. He also lit up the stage, drawing laughter and applause in his performance of The Foreigner. Wherever he performed, Alfie found a way to connect. Behind the camera, he was just as beloved. Known for being down-to-earth and quick with a joke, many remembered him more as a friend than a co-star. Stunt coordinator Justin DeRosa said, "He was down-to-earth and funny as hell." That combination made Alfie rare, a true professional who never lost his sense of wonder or humility. After retiring in 2000, he shifted his focus to his personal life and real estate, but never lost touch with those he worked with. He spent his later years in Jupiter, Florida, enjoying the sunshine and the community he helped foster. Alfie Wise is survived by his loving fiancée, Stephanie Bliss, and leaves behind countless friends, fans, and colleagues. The entertainment world feels quieter without him, yet his work continues to bring joy, and his spirit remains in every smile he inspired. Tributes to Alfie Wise. Number 6. He was one of the greatest to ever do it, and a beautiful person in soul. Those words from guitarist Joe Bonamassa echo the feelings of fans and fellow musicians as they mourn Terry Reid. The powerhouse English vocalist, known by many as Super Lungs, passed away at the age of 75 after a courageous battle with cancer. His voice was unforgettable, soulful, raw, and full of fire. For more than half a century, Terry Reid shaped and influenced rock music in ways both visible and behind the scenes. He first stunned audiences in the 1960s as a teenage sensation with a rare vocal range and emotional guitar playing. Discovered by producer Mickey Most, he released landmark albums like Bang Bang, You're Terry Reid, and River. But it was his bold choices that helped define a vital era in rock. When offered the role of lead singer for a then-forming band, Led Zeppelin, Reid made the remarkable decision to pass, instead recommending Robert Plant and John Bonham. That choice rewrote rock history. Not long after, he turned down Deep Purple as well, choosing his own path over easy fame. His music was admired by legends. Aretha Franklin praised him. His songs were covered by the Hollies, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and Cheap Trick. He opened for the Rolling Stones, toured with Cream, and recorded with Don Henley and Bonnie Raitt. Reid was a musician's musician, never chasing charts, always chasing soul. His voice blended the grit of British blues with the warmth of American soul, inspiring generations of artists. He remained a beloved figure in the music world, known for his warmth, spirit, and the stories he shared in every song. In recent years, Reid canceled tour dates as he faced serious health challenges. His passing is a deep loss to the rock community, who viewed him not just as a singer, but as a visionary. Though surrounded by family in his final days, details on his funeral remain private. What remains public is his enduring gift, music that moved hearts and bent boundaries. Terry Reid didn't just sing songs, he shaped moments. He built bridges between genres. He inspired legends and never lost his passion. Tributes to Terry Reid. Number 5. Morton had a rare gift, recalled a longtime colleague. He could see the future and then help build it. Morton Meerson, a true visionary in both business and community life, passed away peacefully at the age of 87 after a brief illness. His legacy reaches far beyond boardrooms or balance sheets. Morton led with heart, always looking for ways to uplift others and push the boundaries of what was possible. Raised in Fort Worth and educated at the University of Texas at Austin, Morton began his career as a U.S. Army officer, discovering a lifelong passion for technology. That passion would guide him from the early days of electronic data systems, where he quickly rose to become its president and vice chairman. Under his leadership, the company grew to tens of thousands of employees worldwide and became a powerhouse in information systems. Later, He played a key role in one of the biggest tech mergers of the time, helping engineer the sale of EDS to General Motors. As GM's chief technology officer, he brought innovation to new heights. In 1992, Morton took the helm at Perot Systems, leading the company to remarkable success. After stepping away from the corporate world, he devoted himself to philanthropy and private investment through his firm, 2M Companies. But perhaps his most visible legacy lies in the cultural heart of Dallas, the Morton H. Meerson Symphony Center. Named in his honor, it stands as a symbol of his commitment to beauty, community, and enduring civic spirit. He served on numerous national and local boards, championing education, science, the arts, and parks. Yet what truly set Morton apart was his spirit. He listened. He inspired. He made people believe change was possible. Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson shared, "Morton Meerson's vision and generosity have shaped the very heart of our city. He will be dearly missed. He leaves behind 2 daughters, 6 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren, along with a city and industry forever changed by his wisdom and generosity. His passing is a profound loss. But his legacy lives on in the culture he supported, the technology he advanced, and the lives he uplifted." Tributes to Morton Meerson. Number 4. Frankie was a trickster on the field and a wonderful conversational partner off the pitch. Those words from Dortmund's Hans-Joachim Watzke say it all. Frank Mill, who passed away at 67 due to complications from a heart attack in Italy, brought joy to decades of football fans with his charm, talent, and generosity of spirit. Born in Essen, his journey began on local pitches and led to Bundesliga stadiums packed with roaring crowds. A sharp striker who later turned into a playmaker, Mill gave his all for clubs like Rot-Weiss Essen, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Borussia Dortmund. Across 386 Bundesliga appearances, he scored more than 100 goals. But it wasn't just the numbers, it was the way he played. Clever, creative, always a step ahead. He helped Borussia Dortmund win the 1989 DFB Pokal and reach the UEFA Cup final in 1993. For Germany, he stood alongside champions at the 1990 FIFA World Cup and earned a bronze medal at the 1988 Olympics in Seoul. Off the field, Mill was approachable, funny, and always ready to give back. He stayed involved with charitable causes, community matches, and youth development. Though he didn't play in the 1990 World Cup matches, his place on the squad reflected his respected role in the team. Later in his career, he became a mentor, guiding young players with patience and wisdom. Fans remember his famous smile just as much as his footwork. Teammates speak of his humor, kindness, and leadership. Clubs where he played still feel the echoes of his contributions. Borussia Dortmund said goodbye to one of its legends, and the football world is a little dimmer without his brilliance. Frank leaves behind his family and a legacy carved into the history of German football. He'll be remembered not only for goals and matches, but for friendship, laughter, and love of the game. Tributes to Frank Mill. Number 3. History cannot be erased, only understood, Ion Iliescu once said, a phrase that mirrors both the weight and intention behind his decades of public service. He didn't just witness Romania's transformation, he led it, navigating one of Eastern Europe's most turbulent times with fierce determination and cautious hope. Ion Iliescu, who passed away at 95 following a long illness and recent treatment for lung cancer, was a central force in Romania's post-communist evolution. A quiet yet steadfast figure, he first emerged as a national leader during the Romanian Revolution of 1989. With the fall of Ceausescu's regime, Iliescu helped form the provisional government, giving Romanians their long-awaited voice in free elections. He was elected president in 1990, the first after the end of communism, and would go on to serve 3 terms. His leadership during these uncertain years brought both stability and controversy. He helped shape a new constitution, guided Romania toward joining NATO, and opened the path toward eventual European Union membership. Born in Oltenița, he entered politics early, rising through the ranks of the Communist Party before becoming a reform-minded catalyst for change. Even amid upheaval, Iliescu valued measured progress over chaos. To some, that caution felt like hesitation. To others, it was steadiness in a sea of radical change. His long political journey was not without criticism. The events of December 1989 remained a heavy chapter. Thousands of lives were lost, many after the fall of the old regime. Legal proceedings in connection to those dark days continued into his later years. Through it all, Iliescu insisted his intentions were for unity and order in a time of confusion. Despite the complexities of his legacy, few dispute his role as a founder of modern Romania. He also helped create the Social Democratic Party and remained its honorary president after retirement. Away from the spotlight, he was known as fiercely private, devoted to his wife Nina, whom he married in 1951. President Klaus Iohannis called him a key actor in Romania's difficult rebirth, whose life story is inseparable from the story of the nation. His voice may now be silent, but Ion Iliescu's influence echoes in Romania's institutions, its freedoms, and its future. Tributes to Ion Iliescu. Number 2. Some captains lead with words. Jorge Costa led by example, fierce on the field, humble in spirit. At just 53, Jorge Costa's journey came to an unexpected end due to cardiac arrest at FC Porto's training ground, where he had once again poured his heart into the club he loved. A symbol of loyalty and strength, Costa's name is forever linked with FC Porto. Over 15 years he wore the blue and white jersey in 383 matches. He lifted 8 league trophies, 5 Portuguese Cups, 8 Super Cups, the UEFA Cup, and the Champions League. More than the victories, it was his commanding presence, known by fans as Bicho and Tank, that made him unforgettable. Internationally, he stood tall for Portugal, earning 50 caps and representing his country in the World Cup and European Championship. After retiring from the game, Jorge didn't walk away. He stepped into management, traveling across Europe and Africa, later returning to Porto as director of football. There, he inspired a new generation with the same grit that once defined him on the pitch. Jorge's strength didn't end at the touchline. He was a devoted father to David and Salvador, and a deeply respected figure in the football community. His loss was felt instantly. Cristiano Ronaldo, former teammates and world football leaders expressed their sorrow. All remembered his courage, humility, and fierce pride in the game. One of the most moving tributes came from close friend Vitor Baia, one of football's greatest warriors, the soul of the locker room, an example of courage, dedication, and love for the jersey. Jorge Costa didn't just play football. He lived it, with passion, resilience, and honor. His memory will remain in every young defender who dreams of leading, every Porto fan who chants his name, and every heart that's been moved by the beautiful game. Tributes to Jorge Costa. Hey. What's trending on the internet? News 1. It's a day for remembering a true music legend. Ozzy Osbourne, beloved singer, songwriter, and one-of-a-kind showman, has passed away at 76 in his hometown of Birmingham, England. Ozzy's remarkable journey began in the late 1960s as the frontman of Black Sabbath, pioneering heavy metal and thrilling generations with unforgettable classics like Paranoid and Iron Man. Over 6 decades, he sold more than 100 million albums, earned 2 inductions into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and brought both wild charisma and heartfelt honesty to the stage and the screen. Not only did he lead one of rock's most iconic bands, but Ozzy's solo career soared, and his loving family inspired millions through their hit reality show, The Osbournes. Even as health struggles arose in recent years, Ozzy kept performing, most recently taking a final bow at an emotional hometown concert surrounded by adoring fans. He died peacefully, with family by his side, after a battle with Parkinson's disease and heart complications. Ozzy Osbourne will forever be remembered as the Prince of Darkness, an extraordinary talent who changed music, brought people together and, to the very end, thanked his fans from the bottom of his heart. His spirit will live on every time a power chord rings out and every time we celebrate the power and love of rock and roll. News 2. If you've followed Christina Applegate over the years, you know her as the talented Emmy-winning actress who's brought laughter and heart to millions. Today, Christina is facing a challenging moment, sharing openly that she's been hospitalized in Los Angeles at the age of 53 with a painful kidney infection that quickly spread to both kidneys. Despite overwhelming pain, Christina hasn't lost her trademark humor. She even recorded an episode of her podcast, Messy, from her hospital bed, reassuring fans with laughter and honesty about her ordeal. The outpouring of love and encouragement from fans and friends has been heartening, flooding social media with well wishes and gratitude for her candidness. Through resilience, vulnerability, and her ever-present wit, Christina continues to inspire, reminding us all that even in difficult times, hope and community shine through. We wish her strength and comfort as she recovers, and know she'll be greeted with even more support and appreciation for the joy she's brought so many. News 3. It's a moment of hope in the middle of tragedy as we share the story of 7-year-old Kalina Arayan Gruber from Seattle, who recently survived a deadly boating accident near Miami Beach. Just last week, Kalina was enjoying her final days at a summer sailing camp with friends when their sailboat was struck by a barge in Biscayne Bay. Although 3 young girls lost their lives in this heartbreaking event, Kalina miraculously survived after being trapped under the barge and has since returned home, surrounded by the love and support of her family. Kalina's parents, Karina Gruber Moreno and Enrique Arayan Viqueira, are grateful to have their daughter safely back, but their hearts go out to the families facing unimaginable loss. They remind us all of how life can change in an instant, and ask for privacy as Kalina continues her journey of healing. This beautiful young girl's story is a gentle reminder of resilience and the importance of community, and today, we honor the lives lost and the bravery shown by everyone involved. Kalina's recovery will no doubt inspire others, and her strength will certainly be remembered in the days ahead. News 4. Film legend Francis Ford Coppola, beloved director of The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, is recovering comfortably in Italy following a scheduled heart procedure with his longtime physician, Dr. Andrea Natale. At 86, Mr. Coppola remains a vital creative force, recently seen touring his new film Megalopolis and connecting with fans across the country. Just last Sunday, he charmed moviegoers in Portland, proving his passion for storytelling is as strong as ever. While his family and admirers wish him a smooth recovery, they're also celebrating the extraordinary career and enduring legacy he shares with the world. As Mr. Coppola rests, let's honor his remarkable contributions to film and look forward to many more stories yet to come. News 5. Imagine this. Lizzo, the supremely talented singer and songwriter, just 37 years old, lighting up this year's BET Awards with her biggest smile and a visibly transformed, healthy glow. Known for her bold embrace of self-love, Lizzo revealed she's released around 60 pounds, but the real story isn't the number on the scale. Over the past year and a half, Lizzo decided to focus on her own well-being, swapping distractions for mindful choices in food and movement, and turning daily walks, strength training, and even a little pickleball into celebrations of self-care. On her journey, Lizzo made it clear there were no quick fixes, fad diets, or celebrity miracle drugs, just intentional living and honest self-work. In her own words, she wanted to win, not lose, treating each positive step as an investment in her health and happiness. Through it all, Lizzo has remained refreshingly honest about challenges, reminding us all to speak kindly and hold compassion for one another, especially when it comes to body changes. As her journey inspires fans of every age, Lizzo's greatest message shines through. Real transformation is about loving yourself through every high and low and daring to live out loud no matter your size. And isn't that a beautiful legacy worth celebrating? News 6. It's not every day that we see true courage shine through life's hardest moments, but that's exactly what viewers across Chicago witnessed as ABC 7's Diane Patieu made her heartfelt return to TV after unimaginable loss. Diane's beloved husband, Nick Adamsky, a firefighter and Medal of Valor recipient in Milwaukee, passed away at just 42 after bravely fighting brain cancer for several years. Nick was more than a husband and hero. He was a beacon of hope, known for his unwavering positive mental attitude, or PMA, that inspired everyone around him, no matter how tough the day. Diane recently stepped back on air and took a quiet moment to thank all those who offered comfort and shared their own stories of loss. She said, "Your outpouring of messages, love, and patience have helped her family more than words can say." As Diane takes things one day at a time, her strength and Nick's legacy are nothing short of inspiring. Nick will be remembered not just for his acts of heroism, but for the kindness he shared and the hope he ignited. In honoring Nick, we're also reminded how a positive spirit and community support can help guide us through the darkest times. News 7. Here's a story that's sure to get people talking. In Aalborg, Denmark, the local zoo is taking a unique approach to caring for their animal residents. Aalborg Zoo has recently invited folks to donate their unwanted small pets, like chickens, rabbits, and guinea pigs, to help feed the zoo's carnivores. The staff assures everyone that animals will be gently cared for and humanely euthanized before they become mealtime for the zoo's lions and other predators. The zoo emphasizes that this program is part of their commitment to mimic natural food chains and uphold the best standards of animal welfare. Locals who choose to make a donation, even of a retired horse, can even get a tax deduction. While this idea has sparked some debate online, the zoo hopes their innovative efforts will support both their animals and their community. It's a reminder that sometimes, caring for wildlife means thinking outside the box. And in Aalborg, it's all about honoring the balance of nature. Number 1. She reminded us that a meal wasn't just about food, it was about dignity. Lorie Cannon, a cherished force in Chicago's LGBTQ+ and HIV/AIDS communities, passed away peacefully at the age of 74. Known for her fierce compassion and tireless service, Lorie built networks of care when others turned away. Her journey into advocacy began in the 1980s, when she answered the call during the AIDS crisis. What started as volunteer work delivering meals blossomed into a life of purpose, compassion, and leadership. Lorie co-founded Open Hand Chicago, a groundbreaking Meals on Wheels program for people living with AIDS. She delivered more than nourishment. She brought comfort, connection, and hope to those too often forgotten. Her attention to detail, from routing delivery maps to assembling hygiene kits with volunteers, made the program a lifeline across the city. It later became part of Heartland Alliance's Vital Bridges food program, continuing the mission she helped build. As a founding member of ACT UP Chicago, Lorie fought on the front lines of advocacy. She organized protests, held decision-makers accountable, and refused silence in the face of injustice. She also helped bring the AIDS Memorial Quilt to Chicago, making sure every square was a story heard. Her work earned her a place in the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame, not only as an activist, but as a beloved friend to the community. She was celebrated for her humor, her persistence, and the way she made strangers feel like family. Those who knew Lorie speak of her warmth, her mentorship, and her strength. Lorie didn't just speak about compassion, she lived it every day. One longtime colleague shared in tribute. Even in the hardest moments, she found ways to lift others. Lorie passed away after a short illness, surrounded by the love of her community. She is survived by chosen family, friends, and the many lives she touched. Chicago's fight for dignity, equality, and care is stronger because of Lorie Cannon. Her heart beats on in every act of kindness made in her memory. Tributes to Lorie Cannon. Elegance was her signature, and kindness, her legacy. Jane Morgan Weintraub, celebrated singer, actress, and philanthropist, passed away peacefully at the age of 101.